Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sergeant First Class James Webb, the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade Equal Opportunity Advisor. Welcome to the 10th Mountain Division in Fort Drum's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Observance. Each year, the Department of Defense and the nation joins together in celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We do this through a day of community service. It is a day on, not a day off. This year, the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade and the American Red Cross has collaborated to host a Life and Legacy blood drive. The blood drive will be on 21 January 2019 from 10 to 1400 hours in the commissary parking lot. Like the United States Army of today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. realized the vital importance of treating each other with dignity and respect. Please watch this brief history of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as presented by the soldiers of the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade.
Born in Atlanta, Georgia, Dr. King became widely regarded as America's preeminent advocate of nonviolence and one of the greatest nonviolent leaders for change in world history. He drew upon inspiration from both his Christian faith and the peaceful teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. Dr. King led multiple nonviolent movements in the late 1950s and 60s to achieve legal equality for African Americans in the United States. While others were advocating for freedom by any means necessary, including violence, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. used the power of words and acts of nonviolent resistance such as protests, grassroots organizing, and civil disobedience to achieve seemingly impossible goals. Dr. King went on to lead similar campaigns against poverty and international conflict, always maintaining fidelity to his principles that men and women everywhere, regardless of color or creed, were equal members of the human family. The holiday celebrates his life and achievements and encourages people everywhere to reflect on the principles of nonviolent social change and racial equality. Tragically, he was assassinated by James Earl Ray in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4, 1968. However, like a true warrior, his legacy continues to unite people across all races and serves as a beacon of hope during turbulent times. Dr. King was a phenomenal person who in life and even after death promotes dignity and respect combined with equality. In recognition of his accomplishments and impact on the world, Congress passed a bill designating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday as a national holiday starting in 1986. The Department of Defense first observed Martin Luther King Jr. Day in 1985, a year before it became a federal holiday. On August 23, 1994, Congress passed the Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday and Service Act, designating Dr. King's holiday as a day of volunteer service. Today is a day that we take action and work toward accomplishing his dream of working together. The holiday is celebrated at all U.S. military installations and is observed by local groups in more than 100 nations. Today, our armed forces are stronger because of the perseverance of Dr. King and so many others in this country who have fought for civil rights and equality for all. On this day of action, we are inspired to continue being a model for our nation. We will now hear from 10th Combat Aviation Brigade soldiers who will share Dr. King's words with us.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that.
I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality.
Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?
Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal.
Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance, and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence.
We know through painful experience that freedom is never volunteered by the oppressor, but demanded by the oppressed.
The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important.
We shall overcome because the arch of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice.
A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus.
Dr. Martin Luther King was a vital figure of the modern era and a pivotal figure in the civil rights movement. In sermons and speeches, Dr. King's voice rang out with the call for us to work towards a better tomorrow.
His actions inspired men and women, young and old, in this nation and around the world. Please join the hundreds of thousands of people who serve on MLK Day and throughout the year. America's new foundation will be built one community at a time, and it starts with you.
Dr. Martin Luther King's life was truly a climb to glory. During his life, he reached the mountaintop where he could see the promised land. So today and every day, we should continue the climb until all people share the equality that Dr. King worked so hard to achieve. So no matter what, keep moving, and we'll all meet at the top on our climb to glory.